I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
Hey, great people. Welcome to Incarceration to Incorporation. We are excited. I am Dina Dickerson from the Offender Alumni Association. Out of the Birmingham office, and with me tonight is my co-host, Miss Lisa Gus, our family engagement specialist from the Offender Alumni Association, also out of our home office in Birmingham, Alabama. We are excited to be standing in for our great brother and sister, Julius Campbell and Marie Jones. We're truly honored for this opportunity just to share in space, share our experiences, our strength, and our hopes. We want to especially thank Mr. Julius Hall, Ms. Alexander A.B. Barnes for just letting us, do our thing. And so a little bit about the Offender Alumni Associations, that we are a network of individuals that have the experience of incarceration, that have truly allowed our past to propel us into our future, no longer allowing it to be the change that weigh us down, but the thing that motivates us to push ourselves forward and reach back and help others as we climb. OAA was founded in 2014 by a former offender herself, Ms. Deborah Daniels, and a Chief Justice. We, since that time, became a nonprofit. We only want to be a supportive community for each other. So I'm going to yield right there and let my co-host, Ms. Lisa Gus, give you a little bit of herself, and then we'll go into the topic for tonight. Ms. Lisa.
Hello, man, I bow. It's an honor to be in this space, man, because I remember being incarcerated with a 99-year sentence telling me I wasn't going to come out. I was going to die in that place. It's an honor to be connected to good, great people. Offender Alumni Association, they was my life jacket. They was my anchor. When I came out incarcerated, came back to Birmingham, everybody turned me down. Nobody will help me, but that supported group has supported me along the way. Today I'm honored to be in Incorporation today, both with Offender Alumni Association as well as Impact Family Council. It helped me to be prepared and ready. I just want to say it's nothing impossible for us concerning our past. What they don't know is they helped us, allow us to have a past in order to have a future. So I just want to say, come on, join us right now and hear what we got to talk about, what we got to share, and what you can have as well. All right, I turn it back over to my great CEO of the company. Wow, man, CEO, man. You hear me?
Wow, with the title.
It's an honor. Dina?
Hey, I'm just a servant. That's probably one of the greatest titles I hold, second to being a child of the Most High and a super grandmother, and truly grateful. But just to start this thing off, I'm going to give you a little something that a lot of people sort of kind of overlook as it relates to individuals that are exiting incarceration, that they face, formerly incarcerated individuals face numerous of psychological challenges, which pretty much led us to starting the Offender Alumni Association here in Alabama first. Just wanted to be there for individuals that are going to be struggling through trying to just get their lives together or get a life after they've served time, paid the price for whatever they've been accused of. And so with those challenges, there's a stigma that comes with that. The minute someone hears that you've been to prison, you stole too much stuff out of Walmart. So they wasn't going to continue to put just a slap on the hand. So they send you to prison. But when a person hear prison, they automatically think the worst. There's a lot of discrimination that goes with that. Discrimination from jobs, discrimination from housing, even though we know that they say you can't discriminate in those spaces, but they do based on our background. If not, they'll say, well, do you have a background? Is it 7 years or older? They won't look at it or whatever. However they do. When me going to prison has nothing to do with my ability to pay rent or to pay my light bill. And I too deserve a safe dwelling to live in after I paid the price, then that causes a lot of mental health challenges if you do not have them because of the isolation or the instability that's there. In Maslow, he spoke best, if you don't give a person what they need, according to the rings that it's on, just having the basic necessities of life, food, shelter, and clothing is one of the things. So this can lead to like devastating outcomes when a person don't have homes, like their relationships fail. Our children already miss us when we're gone, and then we're not really there once we get back. Me, myself, personally, I wasn't there when I was home because I was always going and drinking and everything and leaving my baby with his grandmother or his godparent. And only until I got there, I realized that wasn't a real good mother at all, even though I felt that I was doing okay because I had left him in a place of safety. So we're going to talk about just overcoming some of those challenges as it relates to coming home, the emotional challenges that we face. And I want to center around women returning to their children and society at large, but the emotional instabilities that go on as it relates to just coming home. Lisa, if you want to give a little bit of some of the things that you've experienced now in your work with parents, and how is it that you utilize your past to help them navigate some of the things that they may be challenged with?
Well, being a parent myself, incarcerated, feeling what I felt, separated from my kids, not only separated from my kids, I just felt lost. I had lost them. It was a loss. A lot of people don't look at it as a loss, but it's a loss. Even though you're going to come back out there and be with your kids, but it's still, I had to go through the grieving part, the hurting, the confusion, the emotion, inability. Sometimes birthdays, holidays, I just cry. I was going through a lot in there, but what it did was it took me to come out now and to work with parents, and I can understand where they're at and what they're going through with their children. So I'm able to be an encourager and to guide them into a new level as being parents that they might not have never even looked at. And I'm talking about that emotion part. The emotion part is when you've been damaged with trauma. Not only you damaged with trauma, sometimes you might not even realize you have a mental illness. You don't even realize that you're going through changes and so much anxiety that I had coming out of incarcerated. I couldn't even go to school and study because my anxiety level was so high. It's things that I couldn't learn because my anxiety level. And then I had to look it up and to see what was the diagnosis of it and what was I having those symptoms? And I realized I have no symptoms. And a lot of people don't look at that when you're coming out incarcerated. They look at the outer part of you, but on the inside you really tore up because you've been conditioned for 25 years, 20 years in that prison, a certain way, a certain kind of they have you to turn your head when people come in from the free world. That's antisocial. I still right today have some stigma with socializing with certain people because it's just that I didn't get to that level. But speaking of the parents, I can relate to them and I understand where they're at, and I can pour into them a lot that I miss. And the suffering that I went through and they're going through now, I can share that. I can share some emotions, some guidelines on how to come up to be a better parent, that you won't have to lose your children like I lost mine coming to prison with the 99-year sentence. And like she said, people don't look at all that. We can't get a job, we can't get housing, we can't get these things, and these same moms, they're having these same problems. They're not even incarcerated. They low income, they're single moms, they're really having hard time, and they just don't know how to navigate. And it's not that they don't know how emotionally damaged they can't navigate. That's what it is. It's not that they can't get a house. They probably can get a house. But when you damage on the inside and it's hindering you from moving forward, and then it paralyzes you, and then you cannot move. And then they'll say, oh, she's just slow. It's not that she's slow. It's just she got issues that people do not look at today.
Right. You're absolutely right. You know, they have a thing now that I'm just now learning about, which is called PIC, and that is the post-incarcerated syndrome. It's like PTSD, where individuals, based on the trauma that they do experience during the incarceration, not the excuse, but a fact, that they bring these challenges home. And as you were stating, just the paralyzation. And I can remember coming home and just didn't know where I fit, one. And then as it relates to my children, just trying not to fall into the guilt of being gone, because so many people had said that when they were coming in and out, back and forth, and they were saying, well, this is what happened, and it caused them to relapse and all kind of things because of the emotional challenges that they face. We see that our wonderful Marie has joined us. Marie, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, I am so sorry, y'all. I don't feel well, and so but I am glad. Thank you, Mr. Hall, for putting me on the show. I'm sorry, y'all, I was late. It is so good to see you, Dina, and that is Miss Lisa Gus. Miss Lisa Gus, a lot of women need to hear the things that, especially how you feeling. A lot of women need to tune in tonight and to hear this, especially women that have been incarcerated. And as you say, Miss Lisa, single mothers. I am a single mother myself, and I have 7 kids at home, and it's not easy. Even with having a job and working, it is still not easy. And I have been incarcerated also myself, but thank goodness for the resources that that we are putting out. This is something that I did not know about. Thank you for the different resources that Alabama, because you're in Alabama, right, Miss Lisa?
Yes, I am.
Yes, thank you for the different resources that you are trying to put out to help the women. So kudos to you. So Dina, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. I am. I'm excited. We just took off, and I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, but we figure like, let's carry the mantle. Let's help.
Oh, please, by all means, Dina. I know that. Guess what, Dina? Once I know that you're on the show, I know that you got it. So it's okay. Long as the word is getting out to the people, because that's what the people need. The people need encouragement. They need. And can I also say this for my brother Julius Campbell, who is not with us tonight? It's OAA. It stands for Offenders Alumni Association, and what we do is we come to empower, encourage, and to educate one another. Ink and Mr. Hall, who have put this platform together to give us a safe space to share our stories. That is wonderful. And AB, who came up with Incarceration to Incorporate. So I just want this to be this is a woman's month. This is Women's Month. March is going to be the month for women, and we are going to share stories because it is a lot of women that are incarcerated and that need resources, that need help, and that need counseling and all of those things. Because when I came home, I didn't get counseling. I went from being in prison to coming home to being a mama all over again. Know how you doing, I just had hit the ground running, and that's what I did. And I didn't have the resources and the information that Miss Lisa Gus was sharing just a few minutes ago. I didn't have that because, it's good to have somebody who is going to talk to you, who is not going to be in a place of judging you.
Yeah.
That's
key. That's key. And so that's what we really wanted to create. So I commend you guys on this collaborative effort, right? That no one is trying to overshadow anyone. Everybody's bringing the voices of the masses to this space. I see some brothers have joined us live on Facebook. I have Eric B. Hello, Eric. He's our lead coach for our youth program, Heroes in the Hood here in Alabama. On you guys, you have Mr. Bernard White. Hello, Bernard. He's saying hello, ladies. Mike.
Hello, Bernard.
Kelly. And I don't know who Oof Ellis is, but I hope I'm saying it right and not tearing your name up. If you guys have any questions, just shoot them out there. This is a prelude to Women's Month. as we just join forces with you guys over in Savannah to just bring forth some powerful voices of women. So stay tuned, start sharing it to your Facebook. You know, we're not trying to eliminate the fact that there's horrors on both sides of the fence, and definitely on both sides of the gender when it comes to those that are affected directly by the criminal justice system. So,
Dina, what I would like to know from you is, okay, like when a woman is incarcerated, right, and say she doesn't have a place to live, you or Miss Lisa can answer this. She does not have a place to live. It is so many, like say if it's 10 halfway houses, 9 are for men and only 1 is for a woman. And why is that? Why can't we have halfway houses? What is the proper name for them? The
position halfway.
Yes, houses for women. It's like it's not that many for women.
Well, the thing is, when we look at it and look at the numbers, at one time the majority of individuals that were incarcerated was men. The majority of those persons of men were incarcerated was Black and brown. The numbers, I guess, are sort of counter almost even now that we have this opioid crisis that has wreaked havoc. The numbers may shift again now that we have this gun violence within our communities, right?
Right.
And the truth of the matter is the majority of the individuals that are incarcerated are men. And so if we talk about numbers, we're not talking about race, we're not talking about...
Right, no race, none of that.
The focal point on men, probably because of the male factor and coming from other things, I guess is somewhat justified because the numbers are the majority of men, to my knowledge. And what I find with that is we do miss out on the women, being that men typically don't have as many challenges as the women because they're easily to overlook a male when it comes to the workforce. Never mind. Come on, man. You can work because of that, just that male camaraderie. Most individuals that own businesses are men. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When we look at things, most women have been housewives before they left. So some may not have the experience or certain things. And again, women, I think, have the most challenge because they have so many responsibilities that they have to take on right away. They can't afford to say, well, you know, I need to give myself about 6 months or a year before I actually try to get my children. All of these wonderful things, whereas with the male factor, if he's dealing with a young lady, they really haven't been together before prison, so they don't have a real relationship as it regards to just co-parenting. Nothing for them to get a significant other that already has a place to stay.
Right.
They don't have to go through, let me fill out an application for housing to be denied.
Right.
You know, so it's a whole lot of things that factors in that. And we just need to continue to allow our voices to be heard as it relates to what are the things that women actually need, and how is it that we as a community, as a society as a whole, can actually even the scales.
Okay, Miss Lisa Gus, I didn't hear all of your story when you were telling it. Can you tell me about your organization again, or what are you part of?
Well, I'm part of the Offender Alumni Association. I've been there for almost 8 years, and I came from Texas Department of Correction. I did my time there. I did 99 years. I did 25 years. So when I came, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, I came home, and I came looking for resources, and someone in Texas called Deborah Daniel and told her to see about me. So she came and picked me up, and I've been a part of that since then. And the organization is what it is to help ex-offender to reinteract back in society. So they will be going back in recidivism. That's what it was, because I didn't want to go back at all. It's help to create and build relationships amongst one another, so we can help them to network, so they won't have to go back into prison, to help them socially, emotionally, anything that they need, so they won't have to go back to that prison. And that's what they did for me, because that was my life. I needed someone to help me and to understand me and what I was going through and what I was feeling. 25 years I was conditioned to a certain way. So OA encouraged me, OA guided me. They was talking my language. So when they was talking my language, you know what I'm saying, then it built me up and I was ready to do the things that I needed to do to survive out there. Did I go through emotional trauma? Yes. I had fear, fear paralyzing. And then I had guilt. Feeling like I've been gone so long for my children, for my family. I had doubt. I had doubt within myself that I couldn't make it. I had doubt that I ain't gonna be able. I'm not good enough based on the things of where I've been.
That's right.
Even though that I don't live in that doubt and I operate in faith, but the doubt came. But one thing I heard is said, you can doubt in your head, but don't doubt in your heart. And I had to judge myself to make sure that I wasn't doubting in my heart. Then I didn't have no trust. I didn't trust nobody, because you can't trust somebody in incarceration because you got to protect your life. So I had to learn how to trust.
Excuse me, Miss Lisa. That's where that counseling come in at, because just like you said that your mind was conditioned like you was still in prison, and so that's what counseling come in, because, and I heard Dina say like PTSD. We need that. You need somebody just to listen and where you can vent and talk. And I totally agree with that. I like that.
Yeah. See, and those OA rooms gave me that, because see, Deborah Daniel had already been there. Right. You know what I'm saying? She had already been out. She was the forerunner to give us hope and let us know that we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Look at me. She's able to do it. We can do it. And then another thing, I was antisocial because I had not been socialized with anybody outside of the prison. I could socialize with y'all, but I couldn't socialize people because I felt a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Based on where I have been. Not I'm good enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm worthy enough, but I can communicate because I still had that doubt and that confusion. I was confused. And then I was confused that I'm in a new world. I got to learn how to live life on life terms. And then it came to I started pretending. You know what I'm saying? You can. I'm not saying I'm pretending, but you can pretend like something is really what the world wants you to pretend to make it, to fake it till you make it. You see what I'm saying? To laugh when you don't want to laugh. To do things that you don't want to do. But see, I had made a decision that not to do that, but I had to acknowledge that these feelings was here, these thoughts was here, and I had to do what I learned to do. I had some tools.
So Miss Lisa, can I ask you this question? Was it hard for you when you first came home from prison? Like, was it hard? Were you able to get a job and housing and things of that nature? Was you able to do that?
Well, what happened was I went to Texas first, and my mentor, I went to her house. So I felt like I didn't go out into a halfway house. I went into a home that who provided wouldn't allow me to get on food stamps or nothing like that. But I never could get a job. Everywhere I went, they turned me down based on the nature of my crime, based on where I've been. It was discouraging. But what I did was I got in school. So I said I'm gonna do something. So I got in school. But when I got in school, I realized I had I was anxious all the time. I couldn't concentrate. It was just so much going on in my mind, and the people was faster than I was in school.
Right. Okay, Miss Lisa, we're gonna have to go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back in these messages, right, Mr. Hall? I got your message. Okay, we're back with me and Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, you know what? The name of the show is Adversities, when we can face our adversities. And you know what I love about it? You are facing your adversities. And you can be a light for somebody else. As Miko would say, your testimony, your story will help another woman or another man who feel that they cannot make it. So after you did all of that, after you took and got into school, you couldn't get no job, what else did you do, Miss Lisa?
So what I did is told me is men have passed away to recovery. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm doing now is what I did in prison. I have not changed anything different. I just couldn't go out the gate.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing. I just couldn't go out. I had to change from the inside first before I get out here and to put it in practice. So what I did was I started moving towards the people who was going to help me to succeed in life. Instead of I got disappointment about my family because they weren't what I thought they were supposed to be, or I hoped to be, or I dreamed to be. So I said I can't navigate that way. I had to navigate another way. So I went to school, and then I got put out. I was homeless in Texas, and I ain't know nobody there. And from my homelessness, my parole officer sent me back to Birmingham. Got back to Birmingham, nobody would help me there. And I got a job working at Taco Bell, and I worked at Taco Bell for, you talking about some slave, baby. I worked hard because I was afraid that they wouldn't let me keep the job. I needed the job because I had a plan.
Right.
It's to work, get me a place to stay, and begin to start living my life. So what I did was I got the job. 6 years later, I was hired in a corporation called Impact Family Counseling. Hired me as they got me in through re-entry.
Yes, ma'am.
And then once they got me in through re-entry, they kept me on after the re-entry. See, that let me know the growth that took place. And not only that, then Offender Alumni Association hired me as a family engagement. But when I first got my first apartment, I would say, I'm gonna give me a house, I'm gonna give me an apartment. Somebody in the rooms and been on drugs and been incarcerated had their apartment complex. Gave me an apartment, not gave it to me. Let me get an apartment. Once I got that apartment, and I told him, I said, I take care, like, you ain't got to worry about that. 2 years later, moved into another. After 4 years, I signed papers for my own house.
Come on now.
Own house. You hear me?
That's right.
I had to be persistent. No matter what other people were doing around me, I had focus. I was from Incorporation to Incorporation. See, that's what my mind was. My mind was on successful. Regardless of what it looked like, or regardless of what I thought, I knew that I know that I'm somebody today. Just because my past don't define who I am. My past only made me who I am.
That's right.
That's what it did. It made me who I am so that I can help others. It's not about me. It started with me, but it's not about me. It's about others. Those people back in the prison. Those people out here lost. Those people on drugs. They need help. They need somebody who been through it and know about it. I deal with the inner. I don't deal with the outer. Because see, the outer, you're going to go back. But when you break that inner, ain't no going back. You're going to succeed.
Right.
You're going to succeed.
I like that adversity, you're consistent, you're persistent, and you was determined to make it, because after doing 25 years and know it wasn't a walk in the park for you, but guess what? You are somebody who can tell your story, and somebody out there listening say, if Lisa Gus can make it, I can make it.
Yeah.
Because all that you have been through. So I just love you for your encouraging words to the women and the men tonight. We're not forgetting about you men, because we know that you are behind bars. But you know what I like? You said what you're doing now is what you did when you were in prison. You was conditioning yourself, Miss Lisa, for when you did get out. So that's what Julius like to say. He like to say, if you're in prison, for the people that are in prison, go ahead and if you're gonna take a class, take the class. If you're going to take a welding class, whatever you can do to prepare yourself for the outside, do it. Adversities don't last always. Right. Adversities, it makes us. It makes us. Lisa Gus, guess what? Adversities made you. You can go in and help a woman and a man who say, well, I'm strung out on drugs. I can't do such and such. You can say, oh, no, you can do it. because you know their story. Or I done been incarcerated too long. I done been incarcerated for 15 years. How I'm gonna make it? You would say, come on, let me tell you how you can make it. Adversities. So, you know, men and women who are listening to Miss Lisa, be encouraged today because she's making it, and she is a light for OAA Alabama, and the reentry, all of that. So, Miss Lisa, go ahead. What were you about to say?
I just wanted to say that no matter what it look and feel like, you can make it.
Oh, tell them.
And not only that, everybody plan and purpose is not going to be the same, but it's a whole. If I go through the church, you go through the NA, and someone go through something else, if you've been incarcerated, it's going to come a circle for us to succeed. See, we look at it like, oh, she doing this, oh, he doing that, he doing it. No, it's all as a whole. You have to see it as a whole. And not only January the 1st, I was ordained as a pastor.
All right.
But if you look at me, you would think I'm a pastor. Because y'all have a certain stigma.
Yes,
but the same God in that prison is the same God out here.
You better tell them.
He's no respect of a person. I ain't talking about somebody holding them down. I'm talking about a relationship. See, I have a relationship with him, someone I can go and talk to and be with and can give me guidance on how to deal with stuff that I don't know how to do.
That's right.
And he put people in your life. So I just want to let you know, hold on. Just hold on and get connected. Get connected. And please get you a therapist. Because without a therapist, baby, you'll lose it. And there's nothing wrong with a therapist. Nothing wrong with it. It's only there to help you to navigate something that you cannot navigate, that somebody got some skills to teach you how to navigate. We have to be teachable when we come out here. We can't come out like we macho man, macho woman. We have to be teachable. If you humble yourself, I guarantee God will exalt you. And if you got a problem with God, you will be exalted. I guarantee if you be humble.
Tell them, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa, this weekend I had went to, on Saturday, people that are listening to the sound of us, I went to a Kairos. I don't know if you're familiar. And so they're having Kairos in Savannah where they want to serve the people on the outside, the people who come home from prison, Miss Lisa, because a lot of times they were saying like the families don't get help, and it's for the women. And so I went there and I wanted to join them to help be with the families or whatever I have to do to help, because that's what it is. A lot of people that's in prison do not have families that are there to support. People need support. I'm telling you, Miss Lisa, a letter for home is like a good meal to me when I was in prison.
I know it.
I'm telling you, have a loved one that is incarcerated. And it don't say they got 3 meals in a cart. Don't say that. It took me to go to prison to understand, send a letter, accept a phone call. And if you got 10, 15, 25 extra dollars, send it. Show people that's to show your loved ones that you care. No, you didn't put them there. You know what? Nobody wants to get a beat and keep beating me.
That's right.
I put my stuff there. But if you love me, you can send me a letter from home. Take a phone call. Adversities is what make us. And being in prison, me going to prison, it taught me how not to, because my brother is incarcerated. So I don't say you got 3 meals in the cart to him. I do not say that to him. I accept all his phone calls. And I love my brother. I do. I love my brother. But Miss Lisa, I just say you just took and you encouraged me today. 25 years, Miss Lisa, I only did 18 months. And that was enough. That was enough for me right there. But I tell you, I can teach young females and young males what not to do. Right. So they won't go the road that I went or you went. That's what we have to reach back and be a mentor and be a light for the younger generation. I have me and Julius Campbell, we have a visual and verbal that we're doing where we help system impacted youth. And these babies need our help because, Miss Lisa, they're not afraid. They're not afraid to die. And I'm talking about as far as the age of 10 years old that be in ICU from being in guns and gang violence. So we have to take and give back people. You can't say, well, I don't want to talk to that joker. He just hard-headed or she just hard-headed. You was hard-headed one time too. That's before. Right. So just open up yourself and be a light to children, even be a light to a grown person. Because guess what? I was talking to a young man today, Miss Lisa, and he told me, he said, I'm in counseling. He said, yeah, I know, sister, you looking at me. I said, no. I said, how am I looking at you? He said, I'm in counseling because he said, I'm a work in progress. I said, he said, Black people, African American people do not like going to counseling. They find something wrong, because we always say, we're going to go to church and that's it. But God gave these people abilities to be here on earth to take for us to help one another, right? Mm-hmm. And so he said that he was a work in progress. It was things in him. And he was saying that if he don't take and heal that inner child in him, that he will mess up his children. That's right. And then if he mess up his children, then his children gonna mess up their children. It's a pattern. So it's nothing wrong with going to counseling, men and women. Nothing at all. Adversity, look at prison as a ground of where you take and learn from and move from there. What are you going to do? Because you're going to get out. You're not going to be there forever. You are going to get out. So prepare your heart and your mind on the things that you need. If you know you need a GED, that's what prison do. They will help you get your GED. Do those things. Don't sit there and play around. Prepare yourself as if today is the day that they open up them doors and let you out. Now, what I want to talk about, Miss Lisa, is policy. They really need to change policy, because how do you expect a person that been locked up for all those many years as you have, and then you to have the door slam in your face and say you can't have a place to stay and you can't have a job? That's why recidivism is so high, because people reoffend because they don't have anything. What you feel about that, Miss Lisa?
Well, policy does have to change, because what it's causing right now is to not get jobs and to go back to prison. That's what it's set up to do, because that's the control they have. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? It's a control that the world want when it comes to prisons. They got to put a hand on. They got to try to control. So if I control this, when you get charged, you do time, you come out, you got a felon, you cannot get this certain job, you can't get this certain job, you can't get this degree, you can't get this license. But that's to contain you.
That's
because
right.
They don't expect you to do better. They expect you to go back, even though they got it set up like that. But we as people got to go in, and we got to advocate, and we got to fight for these laws to be changed, so our children can be able to live right. See, it's just affecting us a little bit, but who coming behind us? That's why we got to fight, because it's not like the same when I was young and I was out there on the street. I wanted to live. I didn't want to die. But just like you said, them babies don't care to die. They said, some of us said, that's what I'm here for, to die. I'm for to die for the game. I'm here to die to the end. But we got to instill that hope in them. But we as the older people, we have to go and fight and change law. You don't release me from prison, and you tell me that I can't be around nobody incarceration.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And my whole family been in prison. What kind of mess? Where I'm gonna go? What I'm gonna do?
It looks like the system is set up. It sets you up, like you say, for you to fail. But like you say, we as people, we have to come together to take and get those policies changed and things like that. Because people that's coming home from prison, they are entrepreneurs and everything now. Mm-hmm. We just have to do better. Do not let the system, trick you to go back. Because they say in 3 years that people reoffend. So, I know Julius, Mr. Hall, he's been home a lovely while. Julius Campbell has been home. They are successful. They have been out numerous years, got their own businesses. Miko, he has his own job. He is a married man. He is a preacher now. So, people is not looking to do the same thing. They're not looking to do the same thing, Miss Lisa, look at you. Look at your story. So I just want to say that be encouraged. Marie, I don't know your story. I don't, but you can come on and you can tell your story with no judgment. No judgment at all. We're about to get ready to go to another commercial break, Miss Lisa. And as soon as we come back, we're going to take and encourage these women.
Okay.
Miss Lisa. Hey, Miss Dina.
I was in the background just letting y'all go clean off. I was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. See, people need
What
to
you say, Miss Dina?
Huh?
What did you say? I can't hear you.
I was saying people need to understand that I am definitely not the only one that's fabulous. I mean, thank you for all of that. But at the same
time, she can't hear you.
G.
I can hear.
Dina, your mic is low. I can't hear you.
Wait a minute.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Miss Lisa?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
It's low.
It must be on your end because
I don't know what happened. Mr. Harlow went to commercial break and then turned us down.
Yeah. That's Jasmine picture board. Just let her know that that I am.
I can't hear. Can y'all hear me? Mr. Hall. Dina. You can hear me? I'm sorry, y'all. We're having a little technical difficulties at the time. I don't know where Mr. Hall is. But when we went to commercial break, the lady's mic is low. So I just want to say that we're talking about adversities. Can you hear? I can hear you like you low, but I can hear you.
I don't understand then. I really don't understand.
Well, you loud to me, Dina, but I guess I don't know. Can you hear me?
Mr. Hall, he don't went to commercial break and done messed up something. But I
can hear Lisa great, and I can hear you.
I can hear you, Dina. Dina, just go ahead and speak. Dina, this is what I want you to do. I want you to speak and encourage whoever is listening because we're about to get ready to go off the air. Go ahead and just encourage the men and women that are listening to you, and just give them an encouragement. What would you say, Dina? Go ahead.
Well, the message is always hope that freedom, and it has different levels, but freedom belongs to everyone. Just embrace it. What people do is not your business, right? The first seed that you plant in the earth need to be for you, because the harvest itself is for someone else. Right, it's for someone else. So if you're coming home and you're struggling, reach out. Reach out, because what I believe is that whatever you put in the atmosphere, it'll come back to you. But oftentimes we suffer in silence. There's 2.2 million people incarcerated. That means there's 6.6 million families incarcerated, because you have to have a mother and a father to exist somewhat.
That's right.
Let alone other people that are attached to that. And so with that being said, we are creating a movement here, where people can just tap in, know that they belong. There's no judgment, right?
Right.
If we don't have the answer, we'll find them for you. If you're watching, you're just getting home, call Marie, call Dina, call Lisa. Go to the Offender Alumni Association. That's offenderalumniassociation.org. Find us on Facebook at Offender Alumni. Email us. We're here. And if any of you guys got a heart to want to give back, tap in. You all understand the struggle. And I really don't think it's a struggle as much as it's an opportunity. to help others as we climb. So that's all I have. I'll turn it over to Lisa if she got something positive to say.
Oh,
Me,
yes,
step up.
yes, yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Looking at me right now is a positive thing, huh? 25 years, man. Come on now. That's a positive thing, man. I'm a miracle talking to you. And if you listen, you were supposed to be here because I am only a miracle. I just want to say to my women, you are worthy. You are somebody. You are wise. God created you as a woman to be a mother, to be a daughter, to be a sister, to be a wife. You got a lot of creativity in you. If you go look at Proverbs 31, she was a businesswoman as well. She did all kinds of things. We just got to get back in line with our purpose. What's our purpose for? And brothers, we need you to tag in. Come on, be the man that God called you. Don't let that prison define you. You're a protector. You're a provider. You're a strong man. You take care of your family. You bring the bread to the family together. You're a provider, not a provider for yourself. You provide for others. I just want to encourage y'all. It is hope, and you can make it. But you got to get connected to the people that are going to help you. You cannot do it on your own. Okay, you say, I got this, and I can make it. You can do all you want. I'm just telling you from the horse's mouth, baby. You got to get connected. We're not here to judge you, to look down on you. We're here to love you and to encourage you and to go further, to move up. You want to get a business, whatever you desire in your heart to do, you can do it, but you have to do it with some help. So connect with us. I just want to say that I love you. And what I mean by I love you means that I ain't got to lay with you. I love you. I mean I got to do everything. It's like I got to be here to support you.
That's
love.
right.
That's right. You don't know love. Love and action. That's what it is. It's action. And it's action to be a better woman and a better man that you are. With that, I share. Thank you.
That was a good share.
But guess what? After Miss Lisa done said that, there's nothing else for me to say. Miss Lisa, you done sum it all up in one. I just love that. But I just want to say from me, Julius Campbell, Julius Hall, I would like to thank you, Miss Lisa, for coming on. Come back again now. For Miss Lisa and for Dina coming on the show tonight. Oh my God, this thing for coming on the show tonight and just encouraging the men and women through adversities. Adversity is what's going to make you, but you just have to keep going on and on. And remember to reach back to the youth and let's help these babies. Help and love on them to know that they are much needed in this world. And to not want to lay down in life at such an early age. You know, you got to tell them that you love them. You got to tell young boys that you're proud of them, young girls that you are proud of them, and help those kids. Don't just say it with your words, say it with your actions by showing up. Now, this is Marie coming to your hearing. I love you, Dina. I love you, Lisa. Now, Dina, next week, I'm going to be on time here. I'll be on time, and I hope my voice be back.
Well, what we do understand, we help each other as we climb. You know, we don't have to do this thing alone in no kind of way. And so that's the thing. I'll still try to carry something that I'm just not in any shape to carry. And I fail to reach out to those that will help me do this thing. And so that's the key to anybody's success, you know, is that understanding that you can't do it alone. And it's okay. You know, right. Embracing that it's really okay. So we got two phenomenal women coming on next week. Both of them did 19 and 20 years. I think she did 18 and 19 years, but you know, they're early at home so they can really talk to it. I would like to couple that with probably a counselor just to listen in as they are sharing. And then that counselor just chime in on how is it that you speak life into these persons that are feeling, you know, that are feeling like, man, I might as well go back in there and do what? You know, because the thing about it is that we've been wanting to come home, and this right here, this battlefield that goes on in here, convince us that forfeit being at home, something that we've waited on for years, and we get here, and everything that's about the challenges move us with our emotions to create a thought process that says, go back, because I don't know what's up there, but go back. Right. And so we want to try to interrupt that in every way, in the physical sense, like creating things, opportunities for social, economic, and civic empowerment, as well as creating the shift in the mindset. But we can't do this alone. Mindset. So thank you guys so much for having us, and looking forward to just being here to be a support to you. And just whatever we need to do, if we can do it, we're here. Just call on us.
Well, I'm gonna call you doing later on this week, so I can be more together than I was tonight. And but I Miss Lisa, I really, really appreciate you. And Dina, always appreciate you. I love you, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We appreciate you. See you next week.
See you next week, sis.
I like that.